everybody. Thank you so much for waiting. I know I'm late again. I'm glad you came back though, okay? I've had a day. It's been a wonderful day. I got to see my wonderful nephew, Carter. I had some time to visit with him today and do a little bit of bonding with him, and now I'm here with you. I apologize for being late. I was late last week as well, but I want to jump right into it, okay? And again, I apologize. Let me adjust this just a little bit. Get a little bit more up close and personal with you. Okay, so this is No Sweat Plus. We're going to do some Q&A today, and we're going to talk about some of the things that affect perimenopausal women, menopausal women. We're going to talk about PMS a little bit too. And this is for the actual woman herself, but it's also for the women and the men and the kids and the family members that are around this woman that's dealing with perimenopause and menopause. I'm going to do a recap because I asked you guys to send in questions for me. Any questions that you had about perimenopause, menopause, and hormone imbalance, even PMS, because that's a part of it too. And I got some questions. Some of them are repeat questions, but it never hurts at all. Okay, hold on 1 second. It never hurts at all right, to answer these questions again, because menopause and perimenopause, even PMS, are not topics that we talk about enough. So I want to recap you a little bit. The name of my company is No Sweat Plus. I'm Lisa Love. All right, I'm the founder of the company. I'm a master herbalist, and I love women's issues when it comes to health. All right, and so I do not believe in hormone replacement therapy unless it's 100% necessary, but that's a whole different conversation. My website is nosweatplus.com, and you can go there and get a wealth of information. The information on there is free, and I am going to be updating it this week with even more information. All right, so I want to talk about the difference between perimenopause, menopause, and even PMS, because they kind of run parallel. Okay, so you can have premenstrual syndrome, okay, which is your monthly period, okay, and the symptoms that come with that at the same time that you have perimenopause, okay? So they can run actually parallel, okay? And some of the symptoms that you have with PMS are definitely the same as perimenopause, but then at some point they become distinctly different, okay? So I want to talk about perimenopause, all right? Perimenopause is that time leading up to menopause, all right? And to help you understand perimenopause, I'm going to tell you what menopause is. Menopause is simply when a woman has not had a period for 12 months in a row. 12 months in a row. It can't be 11 months and then you have a cycle, or 9 months and then you have a cycle. It's got to be 12 months without having a menstrual cycle, not one spot of menstrual blood, all right? Once you have gone 12 months without having a cycle, you are officially in what we call menopause. All right, and so why do we have perimenopause and why do we have menopause? It kind of goes back to why you have a period every month. So you have a period every month so that your body can prepare to receive a baby. And if an embryo is formed, then what happens is you got to be able to hold that baby, all right? And this all has to do with your ovaries, right, and your uterus, okay? For the most part, without getting too technical, all right? So when your body is preparing for a baby, you know, you get some blood around your uterine lining to kind of hold that baby in, and estrogen and progesterone help in two ways. One helps you to conceive a baby, one helps you to kind of have a baby and hold a baby in your body to keep that baby. When you do not actually get pregnant, what happens is that blood sheds, okay? Your symptoms that lead up to PMS, they go away, okay? And so a lot of times when you have your period right before, you may bloat, you may get grumpy, you may feel bad. All of that equals hormone imbalance. And we're going to talk about 3 hormones today: estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, just for a little bit. All right, so perimenopause, all right, you're just sailing along, all right? Maybe you've had a couple of babies, maybe you haven't, but somewhere around mid-30s, upper 30s, into the early 40s, you may begin to, most women begin to have just a couple of symptoms that are a little bit different. Maybe more severe mood swings. You might start missing cycles sometimes, and then you might feel the heat, okay? You might feel like you're getting hot flashes, and you might actually be getting hot flashes. Night sweats, okay? You may suffer with fatigue. Even your sex drive might get low. And that is because your hormones are out of balance, okay? And they are out of balance because you're entering perimenopause, and that's a time when your body begins to kind of wrap things up, you know, and it can last for years, okay? Wrap things up in terms of childbearing years. So you're starting to slip on those really important female hormones that you need for reproductivity, and that's estrogen, it's progesterone, and we even have testosterone too. Women do. Men have it as well. And one month you may have a lot of all of those hormones, and the next month you may have a lot of one or a lot of the other, less of another one. And so you're on a roller coaster. And usually the deeper you get into your 40s, the more symptoms you have of perimenopause. So what are those symptoms? All right. So many times we get perimenopause and menopause confused with each other, but sometimes the symptoms can be very parallel, but usually they begin to diminish some, they get better as you get into menopause. All right, so perimenopause, you're already still probably having a period, at least for part of your perimenopause journey, but then let's add in the fact that maybe your sex drive just all of a sudden just gets low, all right? Maybe you begin to gain weight and you can't figure out why you're gaining this weight, especially in the middle, thighs, arms, everywhere, ladies, that we don't want, okay, to gain weight. And you don't understand why. Maybe you're eating properly, eating super healthy, and you're exercising, working out, yet still, you know, you're gaining weight and you don't know why. Irritability, all right? Crying one minute, you know, and then being happy the next. And then maybe some things start drying out, vaginal dryness. Maybe you're tired all the time. So some of the symptoms of perimenopause, and some of the more prevalent ones, are hot flashes, night sweats, all right? Severe fatigue sometimes. That low sex drive, your libido just pretty much drops. Dryness, not just vaginal dryness, but vaginal dryness is a big one, okay? So your eyeballs might feel dry. Your skin actually might be extra dry. You might notice that your skin is sagging, that maybe, you know, your face is just dropping right before your eyes. You know, even some of the skin on your body, you know, can begin to sag, all right? This is because of hormone imbalance, and we're going to talk in just a couple of minutes. Specifically, today we're going to talk about estrogen dominance and some of the troubles and woes that estrogen dominance can cause. And then we're going to talk about, you know, some things that we can do about it naturally, all right? And we're talking about two things. No Sweat Plus, I want you to go to my website as soon as you get off, nosweatplus.com, is definitely a lifestyle brand, and it's definitely a product brand as well. In most cases, I need you to work hand in hand with both the products and lifestyle. But in some instances, you can really make some lifestyle changes if you have less severe perimenopausal and or menopausal problems and symptoms. You can make some lifestyle changes and really reap some great benefits. The wonderful thing about some of the lifestyle changes or increases that you make during perimenopause and menopause is that as you move into your 40s, 50s, and 60s and start to be at risk for more types of diseases, such as heart disease, diabetes, it's going to help you to make some of these changes. So the changes that you make for perimenopause and menopause are really going to work across the board for you, okay? So before I get deep off into estrogen dominance, I do want to answer a question that was emailed into me. A gentleman emailed this question into me, and thank you guys. I get so much love and support from the guys on these issues, and he basically wants to know if it's okay to use Vaseline, all right, for vaginal dryness with his wife, all right? And the answer is no. I don't want you to use Vaseline at all. That's not what it's made for. It's petroleum jelly. And while you might say, oh, well, you know, it's not going to cause any problems, it can cause some problems. More importantly, it's just not made to be put in the vagina. There are other things that you can do. So we're going to start off with the most basic one. It doesn't include anything that you need to put in there in the vagina or anything. It's called foreplay. Okay, so make sure that your foreplay is beyond on point. Okay, if you and this gentleman does believe that his wife is perimenopausal. So if you believe that she's perimenopausal, foreplay, you're going to need a little bit more of that, maybe. Okay, and then are there any other issues that she's dealing with? You can actually contact me again, and we'll talk a little bit further, but have her to really do it. Go to nosweatplus.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the website, and have her to do an online consultation, and I'll be glad to talk to her. All right, no petroleum jelly, but I do have some suggestions that go beyond, okay, the foreplay. Lots of water. You should be drinking a lot of water, and then have her to drink a lot of water too. Oftentimes, if your vagina is dry, you may have dry skin, you may have dry eyes, and you may be having some hot flashes and night sweats. They kind of can go hand in hand. And when you are sweating a lot at night, when you're sweating during the day, what happens is that you're sweating a lot of the fluids out of your body that keep you moist all over, that keep your eyes moist, that help to keep your vaginal area moist as well. You're also sweating out some super important nutrients that hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about. Magnesium and potassium are the two that I want to talk about today. However, I have a product, it's called Purr. That's right, meow, meow, Purr, P-U-R-R. And it is all natural. It's an essential oil blend, and it is especially for vaginal moisturization, lubrication. It goes further though. It's also for restoration and repair. So if there is any type of damage that's not severe to the vaginal walls, which can happen when you have a dry vagina, okay, especially over time, then my product Purr is actually going to address the moisturization, the restoration, and repair those vaginal walls and get them back to lubricancy, all right, and get them supple again, so that sex will not be dry, and more importantly, sex will not be painful, you know, for your wife, and it can even be painful for you guys when you're trying to, you know, slide in and you can't really work your way in there because of dryness. I'm not talking about closeness, I'm talking about dryness. So Purr is a blend of essential oils, and one of the main oils in it that does the reparative work is coconut oil, all right? It does have other oils in it too that are hormone balancers, okay? You want to use this in particular if there's severe dryness more than once a day. I can't tell you specifically how much she'd need to use that, but again, go to nosweatplus.com and slide all the way down to the bottom of the website and do an online consultation form. And I'm going to ask questions, all right, and then I'll come up with a plan of care for you and tell you how many times a day you need to use it. Some people may just need to use a little bit at the door of the vagina, and then other women may need to actually go inside and use it on the outside and inside, and use it even more than once a day. And this builds up over time, restores those vaginal walls, adds that moisture, and begins to balance some hormones. But the real issue is hormone imbalance if it's a perimenopausal problem. All right, that was a really good question. So I want to encourage you, gentlemen, to, you know, send any question in that you want. And ladies, thank you for the questions that you're sending in as well. So we're going to talk about some of the things you're asking about, like what causes this weight gain, what is causing me to be tired, what's causing all of these horrendous symptoms that just came upon me, you know, and that are changing my entire life. I have a problem going to work. I'm tired all the time. I don't sleep at night. I break out in the middle of a meeting in hot flashes, and my bed is soaked at night, you know. Talked to a lady a couple of weeks ago. She and her husband sleep in different bedrooms because they're dealing with soaked sheets at night, okay, from those night sweats. So let's talk about estrogen. So the primary hormones that are going to impact perimenopause, PMS, menopause, your menstrual cycle, childbirth even, are going to be estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. When something called estrogen dominance happens, that basically means that that hormone is out of control, all right? And it has kind of taken over the testosterone and progesterone, and you don't have as much testosterone. But we're going to stick with estrogen today. It's out of control. And when it goes out of control, and there's a lot of it, and then the other hormones are down here, some nasty things happen. What will happen with estrogen dominance with many women, and you may get some of these symptoms, you may get all of them, is definitely that weight gain. That estrogen dominance causes you to get the fat around the stomach, and it can be very dangerous fat too. You can be exercising right, eating right. That fat comes and it starts to look like a tire, okay? Also, we're talking about fatigue, where you are just like, I'm trying to get enough rest. I'm just tired all the time. Sex, don't want any. Okay, so low libido, weight gain, fatigue, vaginal dryness is just another big one. Estrogen dominance can cause that vaginal dryness. It can cause your eyes to be dry, your skin to be dry. You can begin to see your skin sagging. How about dry hair and hair that just doesn't have any luster to it? Estrogen dominance specifically. And this is so prevalent in perimenopause. And what happens is as you move through perimenopause and into menopause is that those female hormones will do this initially, right? And then they'll do this. They flatten out, okay? So you might be asking, well, okay, so if they go away, how can my hormones be balanced when I really essentially don't have any? Well, they do. They leave the ovaries, and so you don't have them coming from there. But we have something called an adrenal system, all right, where hormones come from. And we have adrenal glands, and guess what? Those adrenal glands can get together some estrogen for you, progesterone, and testosterone. All right, so back to the estrogen dominance, right? Hold on, I've got a question coming in. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to kind of answer this question as we talk about estrogen dominance. How about the moodiness? How about anxiety? All right, how about headaches? All of those can be a sign of estrogen dominance. Also, some of the other side effects, vaginal dryness. All right, sometimes women get yeast infections and they don't understand, why am I getting a yeast infection? A lot of times it's because you're so dry that friction has caused you to have some bacteria that has grown out of control because of the dryness. And so you may have recurrent yeast infections, and that kind of leads back to estrogen dominance as well. All right, so the hormones are doing this. All right, you're not sleeping, you're tired, you're gaining weight, you don't want to have sex, you're having hot flashes during the day, you're having night sweats, all right, at night, your mood is doing this. Even some women even deal with you want to eat more and more and more, but you still have to go to work, you still have to take care of your kids, you still got to be on the motherboard at church, you still got to do everything that you had to do before all of this happened. And you might even have some extra stuff going on. Maybe you're taking care of your parents, maybe you have grandchildren now, maybe your kids are going off to college, so you're dealing with empty nest syndromes. How do we get through it? Well, some women suffer in perimenopause and menopause, and some women fight it, and I want you to be a woman that fights it, okay? And the fight is not a hard fight, okay? So estrogen dominance, these horrible, horrible symptoms going on, what are some things that you can do? Let's look at the hormone imbalance, all right? You basically want to balance your hormones. That is going to be the ultimate answer for most women, okay? Symptomatically, though, there are things that you can do to treat these issues, all right? If you're having hot flashes, night sweats, I'm going to give you some lifestyle changes first, and then we're going to come back around to one of my products called Slay that you can use. We'll go through the product line. All right, one of the things that you can do if you are having night sweats, hot flashes, we'll lump those together because it's pretty much the same thing. One is during the day, one is at night, and I hear that the night sweats can be more severe, is drink a lot of water. If you drink a lot of water now, drink more water, all right? Stay hydrated. That's something you can do. It doesn't cost any money. All right, another thing that you can do is to get in some physical exercise most days of the week. So let's say 5 days a week, get some exercise in. And it's not that exercise per se will stop or alleviate hot flashes or night sweats, but what it will do is cause you to lose some of the extra body fat that you may have, even if it's body fat that you can't see. But probably if you're in perimenopause, you're probably starting to see some body fat. Fat cells carry estrogen, okay, and they can trigger that estrogen dominance. And so keeping a really healthy weight, keeping your weight healthy will definitely help too. So a proper diet and some exercise, okay? So we talked about the exercise. If you're not a big fan of exercising, if you don't work out on a regular basis, that's okay. We can work all the way around that. Walking is a good one. If you're able to walk, it's a good exercise. And if you walk 25 minutes or more per day, I want you to do at least 25 minutes. That will actually help you to lose some of your body fat, okay? And of course, the more rigorous your walk, the more brisk your walk, the better. But if you exercise on a deeper level than walking, that's even better. Don't stop. Don't stop. You may not see the results that you really want to see right now, but do not stop. Keep exercising. All right, diet is another big thing. So this is a part that a lot of people do not like, but processed foods, sugar, okay, fatty foods trigger hot flashes. And if you want to challenge me on this, I welcome you to do it. But if you have hot flashes and night sweats, what I want you to do is get the sweetest thing you can find, and what comes to mind right now is Krispy Kremes. Krispy Kreme donuts, okay? Get a Krispy Kreme donut, all right, and eat it. And if you don't break out in heat and a hot flash, you tell me. Let me know. Go to nosweatplus.com. You can send me a message there, or you can go to info@nosweatplus.com, and I want to hear about it. Cigarette smoking, all right? It's a trigger for hot flashes, all right? Going back to this eating deal and drinking deal, alcohol, big trigger for hot flashes and night sweats. So I know you're not going to stop eating certain foods. I know you're not going to stop drinking, okay? And don't expect you to. However, there's some things that you can do to kind of help out. Like if you drink, try to drink at a brunch. Try to drink during the day, okay? Usually hot flashes, night sweats are definitely less severe earlier on, okay? Also, consider changing exactly how you drink your wine. If you do wine, half wine and half seltzer water, all right? You can have more than one glass of wine. So it's a wine spritzer is what it's called. But that is phenomenal. It's getting some extra water in you, and it's also cutting some of that alcohol, so you're not drinking it all at once, and you should not feel as severe of a hot flash. And if you can avoid drinking right before bed, that's a very useful thing too, because again, that alcohol triggers hot flashes, all right? It triggers those night sweats. So you don't want to start the game hot, right? One of the other things I want to talk about in the food department, we talked about processed foods, we talked about sugars, we talked about fatty foods. I'd love for you to avoid those spicy foods. So if you have night sweats, eat your spicy food in the daytime. If you're having hot flashes and night sweats, and when I say spicy, I mean spicy hot. Let me clarify that. So use spices, but don't use the ones that bring on the heat. So that's like cayenne, red pepper, any type of peppers that are increasing the heat in a food. Just try not to eat as many of those. If you do, the earlier the better. Really, the earlier the better, because as things get later, and researchers don't know why, the heat just gets worse as you go deeper into the day, and at nighttime, sometimes vicious. All right, I want to go back and tell you another big symptom of perimenopause is heart palpitations. That's how perimenopause and PMS hit me. It was heart palpitations, all right? And I thought it was related to maybe some family history of heart disease. Was not. Went through a whole shebang to find out that, this is some PMS, perimenopause stuff. Got that out of control, though, treating it holistically, of course. I don't want you to have to go through these symptoms alone either, all right? So we're talking about perimenopause and menopause, the differences, and specifically we're talking about estrogen dominance and some of those nasty, nasty side effects that estrogen dominance can cause. All right, so we talked about vaginal dryness, fatigue. We're talking severe fatigue. We're talking low sex drive. Your libido feels like it's wiped out, okay? We're also talking about that middle weight gain, weight gain in your thighs, in your arms, okay? We're talking about maybe some tender breasts sometimes. They may be tender and you're wondering, well, why are my breasts tender? A lot of times it's estrogen dominance. If you're drying out, if your vagina's dry and then your skin is dry and you're dealing with maybe dry eyeballs, you're itching, your hair, if it's drying out, losing any shine to it, you're not doing anything wrong. Some women even develop a little balding, all right? And a lot of that is due to estrogen dominance, and it's quite common, super common in perimenopausal women, and that dominance is dominant now, and then next month it might be down here. Ultimately, what your body is telling the hormones is that we don't need you anymore. She's not going to be in childbearing years in a few years. And so she doesn't need all this estrogen and dominance. She doesn't need these eggs in here, all right? And so your body begins to get rid of these hormones because you don't need them anymore, all right? But you're kind of stuck in the middle because you're still having a period. You could still have kids, and no, you can get pregnant, okay? Perimenopause, you can get pregnant. If you have not come to menopause, and by the way, if you're just not joining us, menopause is when you haven't had a period in 12 months. Safe then, but not until that happens. So you can still get pregnant. All right, so we talked about some lifestyle changes that can help you with your hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness, and we talked about hydration. That's a big one. Not eating the processed foods, cutting down on sugar, spicy foods, and cutting down on alcohol, drinking a little bit differently. I want you to go to nosweatplus.com. We've got some really good information there that we'll be happy to share with you. So I've got some water. I'm not a naturally good water drinker, all right? Doesn't that look good? So let me tell you what I do to encourage myself to drink water. I drink it all the time now. So I drink flat water, regular water, all right, purified water, but I also drink seltzer water, all right? Makes it special. That's what that is back there, seltzer water, and I put fruit in it. So I got pineapples in the bottom of this, ice, and then I've got some blueberries on top, and then I try to always keep some at home, just sitting around in a cute little container, all right? So it feels special when I'm drinking out of it, but I have it handy so I can get to it, all right? And staying hydrated is one of the things that can help you with the symptoms of estrogen dominance as well. All right, again, go to my website, nosweatplus.com, for some more suggestions. I have one on there about apple cider vinegar, okay? If you're taking medication for blood pressure, though, I want you to go to nosweatplus.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom to the online consultation, and before you do the apple cider vinegar, send me a note and let's chat for a little bit. Sometimes apple cider vinegar can interfere with your blood pressure medicine because apple cider vinegar is known for being helpful at lowering blood pressure, okay? And so if you're already taking medication to control your blood pressure, you don't want your blood pressure to get too low, all right? Getting too far into this though. All right, so what can we do to relieve the symptoms from a product brand, okay? So let's talk about a couple of things. So I've got a product line, all right, all natural, all right, and it is basically essential oils and herbal tinctures. So we're talking herbs, roots, all right, flowers, and we're talking essential oils. I am a master herbalist. I'm also an essential oils therapist as well. All right, and we're talking about perimenopause and menopause today and all natural solutions to managing pesky symptoms and getting your hormones balanced, because usually that's the deal. You're dealing with hormone imbalance, which is normal during perimenopause and menopause. So we're going to try to coax some hormones, estrogen and progesterone and testosterone, from the adrenal glands, since they are leaving our ovaries, all right? And one of the ways to do that is to take products that help to balance your hormones, that go in, all right, and balance your hormones. Uh-oh, somebody's telling me to turn the volume up, so hopefully that's better. Hey, can you hear me better? Is that better? Okay, let's talk about these products. So this is called Slay. This is the large size. I've got a smaller size that you can carry in your purse. All right, I've also got a travel size that you can take through the airport with you. So Slay is actually a cooling mist. It's all natural, okay, and it is made with essential oils that include clary sage and geranium. It's got some lavender in it. It's got a whole blend, all right, of essential oils. And these essential oils are going to cool you down. One of the premier ones in there, and ones that really you're going to be able to notice that right off. You might not be able to notice some of the other things or know exactly what you're smelling, is peppermint. So peppermint is cooling, all right? It's got a little sage oil in it. Sage is cooling, all right? The Indians way back centuries ago used sage, all right, as a refrigerant. They used sage to break fevers. If you were really, really ill and you had a fever, you were given sage tea, cool sage tea. But this is a blend, all right? And I don't know if you can really see these essential oils in here, but they're in here. So all of my products, shake them before you use them. I use really good essential oils too. So this is going to treat the symptoms of a hot flash. If you feel a hot flash coming on, I want you to take your little bottle that's in your purse, or if you're at the house, take it, shake it, all right, and spray it. You can walk into it, or you can spray it directly on you, not your eyes. Peppermint is in there. All right, you want to spray it here, here. You can spray it actually here, between the elbow, behind the knees, the bottom of your feet, all right, the back of your neck, okay? And if you do that, and you can use this as much as you want to, if you do that, it will knock a hot flash out right in its tracks, okay? This is Slay, all right? And Slay is great. Now, this smaller size, you can take it to work with you. You may be less apt, you may be less apt to really spray this if you're in front of a group of people. I got a secret for you about that too, though. But you can take this in the bathroom with you. You can use it in the car. Use it everywhere. You can't use it too much, all right? You can't. So superficially, it's going to help you with those hot flashes at night. I want you to keep this on your nightstand at night, all right? Keep one there, and I'll tell you what else to keep there probably next week. You can use this as much as you want. So it is a spray. It's got a witch hazel base, some purified water, and really good quality essential oils. It's not going to fix the problem, though. It's not going to balance your hormones. It's going to give you some temporary relief. We want to get to the real nitty-gritty. The next product in my product line goes a little bit deeper into balancing your hormones, which is going to stop you from having those horrible hot flashes, night sweats. It's going to stop them or minimize them a lot, all right? And then if you throw the diet and exercise in, you're going to be golden. I will tell you that I don't have hot flashes. I don't have night sweats. I have no vaginal dryness, no dry eye or anything like that. And it's not that I'm so special that I don't have them, but I have made the lifestyle changes, and I use one product out of this line now. I'll tell you why it's only one once we get to it. All right, Fix, F-I-X. This is it. This is an essential oil blend, all oils, all right? It's got carrier oil. Kind of holds these oils all together, and that make it safe for your skin, okay? I'm shaking it up as we speak. So Fix begins to fix the issue of your hormones that are not balanced, all right? So it's got female-friendly essential oils in it, right, that actually go in and begin to do some balancing of your hormones. But I will tell you, you're going to feel the effects of this, all right, if you use this. If you have severe, though, symptoms of perimenopause and menopause, you want to go a little bit deeper. This is a good one, though, for those. It's a companion, a good companion, but it's also a good one for those of you who say, oh, I feel a little warm sometimes, or every blue moon, I get dry. That's fine. This is perfect for that. I want you to use this, though, if you have severe symptoms in conjunction with more than likely the entire product line, but in some cases, no, not the entire product line. Go to nosweatplus.com. You can order my products there, but more importantly, go and do an online consultation first, okay? And if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the website, you'll see where to do that at. All right, so Fix, this is how you use it. I got on boots today, so I can't really show you. Last week I had on shoes. It was a jacked up week, but on the bottom of your feet, it's going to go on the bottom of your feet, both feet, every night and every morning, all right? So I suggest that people actually buy a couple of these, okay? One, this is just for your feet, all right? I don't want you to sleep in any socks, all right, or slippers or anything like that. And I want you to rub this into the bottom of your feet. Did you know the bottom of your feet they're just very porous? Lots of pores on there. A great way for medicinal oils to get into your system, okay? Now, this is the second fix. You could use this one, carry it with you in your purse, keep it around the house. Use this in between you putting this on at night and in the morning. I want you to use during the daytime. Take this with you, and you can put this on those same pulse points, okay? Here. You can rub it in. You put it here. Rub it in. You can rub it here. Make sure you rub it in good. It's an oil, and make sure you shake first, too. You can also smell it. Smell this, and it can actually relieve anxiety. It can push back on that night sweat, but more importantly, this has female-friendly adaptogen, all right, oils in it that are going in to begin to balance your hormones. So this is beginning to fix the problem, okay? So this is a super important step. And coming at the end of this month, a diffuser oil for this. and also an oil that you can use. You can put it into your lotion. You can use it in your bath as well. So the diffuser oil deal is pure essential oils, no carrier oil with it. So I'm going to tell you how to use that once we get that one in our lineup. All right, so we're going to talk about PUR now. We talked a little bit about that. So PUR, P-U-R-R, is all about that kitty cat, okay? It's also got some hormone balancers in it as well. All essential oils, there is a carrier oil. A carrier oil is an oil that carries the essential oils, all right? And this is 100% safe to use vaginally, okay? As a matter of fact, it's so safe that you can eat it. I think last week I ate some of it, and I'll do that again. But here's the PUR. Meow. Okay, so keep everything, either keep it really nice and moist and good, or it's gonna get it that way. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a little bit here so you can see it. Can you see that? All right, so rubbing it in, I'm gonna taste that. All right, so I taste those essential oils. I don't recommend that you eat it, but it's safe enough to eat. So you know if you can eat it, that you can use it vaginally, all right? And so again, PUR is a vaginal moisturizer. It is also restorative and reparative. So if you're having problems with entry, all right, if that's where you have the problem, you just want to use a couple of drops of PUR on the outside of your vagina. You can put it on, or your boo can put it on, okay? You can have some fun with this PUR, all right? If you, though, are having problems once you get inside as well, so if you're super, super dry, then this can also be used inside, okay? And some of you will have to use this more than once a day. Some of you can use it right before you have sex, okay? If you do that consultation for me, then I will know. It's nosweatplus.com. And again, do the online consultation all the way near or close to the bottom of the website. So if you have to use this on the inside, you know, one of the biggest questions I get is, well, how do I use it? So this is how you use it. There are several ways. Some women use a tampon, and they put it on a tampon, insert, switch it around, and take it out. I don't necessarily recommend that. What I recommend, if you got short nails, all right, washing those hands up, cleaning really good up under the nail bed, and using your fingers. You can also use gloved fingers, okay? Remember, if you're allergic to latex, though, you don't want to use a latex glove. But again, shake it up. And if you're putting it on the inside, line the finger up, okay? Line it up with the oil like this. Rub one side, all right? So you're going to use this finger to insert. When you're inserting, I want you to go all the way around the vagina, okay, to make sure you're hitting all of those walls. And what you're doing is you're lubricating, but you're also, it's medicinal too if you've got any vaginal walls that need to be restored, okay? That coconut oil in here, it's one of the oils in here, is super restorative, moisturizing, and reparative. And so if those walls are torn or damaged because they're so dry, maybe some atrophy is beginning to set in, that means severe dryness, okay, and almost a collapse of those walls, then the essential oils in here, including that coconut oil, will begin to repair some of that. Now, there are also, for women that have severe atrophy, maybe you haven't had sex forever, okay, and that super dryness has really caused damage. There are procedures now, laser procedures, that can help with that as well. Obviously, that's not PUR, but this is where you want to start at. And I'll tell you exactly how often to use this PUR as well, if you will bless me by going to nosweatplus.com and completing an online consultation. Lots of information on my website as well. I want to tell you, before I tell you about this last product, Conquer, all right, about an event coming up. We have events all the time. One of the events I want you to get ready for, though, is our first annual family fun It's a Walk Run, okay? And it's going to be at Rottenwood Creek. It's March 14th of 2020. It feels so funny saying that. And I want you to come out and join us, and anybody can come. This is not just for women. This is a family fun walk and run. You can go at your own pace. Rottenwood Creek is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to have some water there for you and some nice healthy snacks. And if you want to go with us all the way down to the bottom, it actually leads right into the Chattahoochee National Park, and you can go whitewater rafting afterwards if you want to, or you can go back home. But one of the reasons that I'm doing the walk and run is because I talk to women all the time that say, I don't have time to exercise. I just don't have time. I have a family. And I do get that. But you can make exercising a family fun event. So take your family with you. You can all walk together. You can all run together. Whatever it is that you do, you can all do it together. So that's the reasoning behind this one. Girlfriends can walk together. You can walk with your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, your man. But get it in some type of way. And a lot of times if you do it with other people, it's a lot more manageable and you have a lot of fun doing it. All right. Thank you for that. The last product that I want to talk about is the most important one in my lineup, I feel. It's called Conquer. This is Conquer. And Conquer is going to conquer all of your hormonal imbalance problems. It's going to make your life better. Conquer is going to make it to where you don't need any hot flash spray. You don't need anything for vaginal dryness. It's going to give you a pimp walk, okay? You don't need any fixed roll-on spray, all right? You just need to take some Conquer. And guess what? After a certain point, many of my clients, including myself, I'm on and off of Conquer. I'm not on Conquer now. I am so good, okay? So what is it? It's an herbal tincture. It's an herbal blend tincture. Hormone balancing herbal blend tincture. So what that basically means is that it's a blend of herbs that have been turned into an extract. Think about vanilla extract. It's a liquid, but it came from a vanilla bean, okay? And so the herbs that we use include motherwort and sage, and they're female-friendly herbs, okay? And they work to really go in and adapt to what's going on in your adrenal glands, since the ovaries are being depleted. And really, the adrenal glands can produce some estrogen for you and some progestogen for you and testosterone, but guess what? They haven't been producing them, and so oftentimes they need a little push. So this herbal blend does contain, again, female-friendly herbs, which include motherwort and sage, all right? And they also include an herb that's, it's also adaptogen. It's a tonifier. So it is the herb that goes down into the adrenal glands and assesses the situation and says, you guys are kind of lazy. You haven't been producing any estrogen or progestogen. Let me see what you got down here. So it goes, surveys, all right? And it works with these other female-friendly herbs to go in, all right? So tone up first, get ready to make some estrogen and progestogen and stuff, and then these adaptogen herbs go in and they actually create an environment where you get some estrogen and progestogen and it's balanced and you begin to feel better, all right? Because the hormone imbalance is what's causing all these horrible symptoms. So if you're ready to get rid of those hot flashes, if you're ready to get rid of night sweats, if you're ready to get rid of vaginal dryness, fatigue, that creepy weight loss, sneaky weight loss that comes, just you close your eyes and it's just there, and you're eating right, you're exercising right, ready to get rid of that. This is going to help you to get rid of all those issues. And the ones we didn't mention, how about heart palpitations? How about those headaches? They call them perimenopause or menopausal headaches. Sometimes they can even come in the form of migraines, all to do to hormone imbalance, all right? Conquer, again, is an herbal tincture, and a tincture is basically an extract. And so alcohol and or apple cider vinegar has been used to pull the medicinal effects of these herbs, and many of these herbs have been around and used in women's health for centuries, all right? So this is the answer to all of those questions. I want to talk real quickly about supplements that you need to be taking, all right? And you can get some dosages from the bottle, and also I want you to go to my website. I've got a section on supplements. So magnesium and potassium, just two. Of the supplements that I want you to put in your regular routine. Put them in your repertoire, okay? All right, so magnesium, potassium. Most people are low on magnesium, males and females, all right? Not a good thing, but most people don't get enough through diet. Potassium, a lot of people are low on that as well. You need potassium and you need magnesium, and a lot of times These are the supplements that you sweat out if you have night sweats. You sweat out if you have hot flashes, okay? So we don't want you to not replenish them. And I don't want you to try to use food as the only way that you replenish yourself of potassium and magnesium. Many women also suffer during perimenopause, even PMS and menopause, from really sore joints, achy bones, very, very common, okay? And you don't understand why. Well, a lot of times it's because your potassium and magnesium are just not up to par. If you go ahead and put those back in, about 6 weeks, you should begin to see the difference, all right, with how you feel as far as any aches and pains. And some people call them menopausal blues, menopausal aches and pains. And remember, it can happen at any time, PMS, perimenopause, into menopause. But if you're doing a lot of sweating, you definitely want to add potassium and magnesium into your repertoire. The magnesium is going to help you with some sleep issues that you have when your magnesium levels are up, all right? It's going to help with those aches and pains, and it has been suggested that it also helps with metabolism, all right? So the potassium is going to help you with any spasms that you might have. If you're working out and notice that you begin to have spasms, a lot of times if you have hot flashes, night sweats, we're telling you to exercise to alleviate some of these symptoms, but then you exercise and you get spasms. Well, again, it's because the potassium has, it's just really low. You're sweating it out. And so you're going to feel better during your workouts and have less side effects there too. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up. Does anyone else have any questions that I didn't answer tonight? Well, if you do, and I hope you do, and thank you to everybody that sent in those fantastic questions, I want you to go to nosweatplus.com and submit your questions at the bottom of the website. You can send me a message, or you can go to info@nosweatplus.com, or you can go to nosweatplus@gmail.com. If you need to text me with a question, you can do that at 404-451-1854. And I told you I was going to learn my business number by heart, but I didn't. I'll have it next week, hopefully, okay? Again, I'm Lisa Love. This is No Sweat Plus. I want all your questions. I don't want you to have to deal with pesky perimenopausal and menopausal symptoms. I don't want your partners to have to deal with that, coworkers, kids, family, and there is hope. You can definitely get relief from these symptoms in all natural way, all right? You do not have to use hormone replacement therapy, all right? No Sweat Plus, all natural solutions to perimenopause, PMS, menopause, all right? And just graceful change, all right? You can get your sexy back, and that's what I want you to do. Again, feel free to send me any questions that you have at info@nosweatplus.com, and I'll see you right back here again next week. Thank you so much for your patience, and thanks for joining me. See you next week.